right, hi everyone. I hope you guys aren't all freezing like I am. We're back. God, I love the music. I was also just totally chilling to this. Gally, Chili, hi, welcome. You meant through a massive rebrand? All right, Chili. Who are you? But also congrats on your rebrand. Floris, hi, welcome in. Ice, awesome. Okay, thank you. Still chilly. Okay, you know what? I got it. Sorry, it's like very party time right now. I love it. Here, have some monodams. So, last week on Of the Devil, we had to investigate so we can go. Streamers will leave background noise while you animate tonight. That's right, because you're animating the meetings from Blue. That's as much as I'm going to say without spoilers in a different stream. Oh my god. Again, I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited for that. Yeah, so I hope everyone had a good week, and yeah. I had to think, I'm like, I don't know what day today is. I have been sewing nonstop. Yeah, let's see, what did I do? Nope, just sewing. Because I do have another craft fair coming up. But anyway, last time on Of the Devil, we did all the investigations. We met, the lady whose name I definitely know. Fran? No, I knew Fran. Who did I meet? Was it Jung? Jung! Helen. Met cool trans woman. Did meet cool trans woman. She was very cool. She was the, Where is she? Not Starling. Rockford Reyes. Masters. Das? No. Das is Rentaro. Sato! That's right. Yeah, we met Sato, we met Jung. I like Sato over Jung so far. Sato was cool and helpful. Yeah, and now we are gonna be looking up the artist, Chromofuge. Did I not click Chromofuge? What's this? Oh, right, that's why everything is Danganronpa Pink Blood. Magic, hi! And we met David Sato. From the hit TV show The Americans. I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about. Yeah, so first we need to start investigating stuff. The stage for the talent. Pretty close to the floor. Guess it fits the whole round table aspect of this place. Everyone's on more or less equal footing. Dancing in the dark once you get past the bouncer. Do you think they might have met here? David and Porter? I can't see David walking in here. Aw, is David not a scene boy? Because you found the walk so challenging? Because it's too loud to relax. And not dark enough to be anonymous. I see. What's with that face? You got an opinion to share? The atmosphere's not bad in here, but the music isn't quite... I'll find you a survey to fill out before leave. Excuse me, Sarah, the music is great. What kind of a music does an android even like? Heavy metal? Oh. Early 21st century punk rock. Oh! Is that just you, or does it go for all androids? I haven't met all androids. I can't speak for them. Wonder what they'd say. If they're smart, they'd say that music peaked with the early 21st century punk rock. Sarah is just jamming out to All the Small Things by Blink-182. You too, Sarah, you too. Debate settled. I really hope that comes up as, like, evidence for later. Appraise. A bar stock full of colorful selections and busy bartenders. Hope this isn't the kind of club you can order food in. Only time Only time bar food is any good is when you're drunk enough to forget the taste and the gap between chewing and swallowing. So you can, like, eat things? Yes, I can. What, like Android food? There is no such product. So what do androids eat? Online user guides for Noble's Warm Bodies models clarify that they don't eat anything in the traditional sense. They get their energy from electrical charging, usually wireless. Whenever they need to eat, it's to replenish specific vitamins and electrolytes. Oh my god. Does Sarah just chug Gatorade? Sounds a lot like what mod users go through with their sports drinks and energy bars. Oh my god. Sarah just drinks Gatorade. And charger separation anxiety. She just chugs oil. Oh, like Hoove and date everything. According to the net, warm androids can ingest nutrient-rich processed carbohydrate pellets if they need to forego electrical charging long-term. Processed pellets? You mean kibble? Like dog food? No, it is not like dog food at all. It's android food. Keep up, Morgan. Can you buy it from the pet store? Oh no! It seems you can. How's something you had to look up anyway? You love how Sarah mimics the poses? Yeah. Because I've always just eaten whatever father gave me. Like what? Marbled beef. Never hydroponic avocados. Foie gras. Oh my, wait, what's hydroponic? Never hydroponic is a movement calling for sourcing food exclusively from farms utilizing natural sunlight. Lobbyists have made unsubstantiated claims about superior taste and nutritional value. The label is yet to receive official state recognition. Oh my god, wait, has food gone to like, instead of like reverse free range, where it's just like stick them in like a basement and then they get like artificial sunlight and artificial like food to grow? Oh, that's so sad. One of the number of food sourcing movements that arose in the latter half 21st century, rising sea levels, reduced the total amount of arable land around the world, and shifted the global agriculture industry towards hydroponics and vertical farms, rural skyscrapers, where each floor was utilized for food production, saving on real estate costs and reducing the... God, again! This also feels so, like, I can see this happening in the future, which is scary. That sort of thing. Also, apparently Sarah ate bougie food. I am not paying for any of that. Okay, we can't afford our bougie android. Alright, is that everything? Whee! Huh. Morgan just takes Sarah to McDonald's. Marble beef can't be that expensive. If beef in general becomes expensive, I imagine all beef would be expensive in this future. If there's no land for it to grow. $145 in today money. So probably like times 20 for that for the future. Exclusive sit down with luxury. You've heard her names on everyone's lips. You've seen her face in magazines and commercials, and then double check to make sure the photos weren't labeled as edited. Now, get all your burning questions about her answered here in our exclusive interview with a mysterious young woman who's being called, and perhaps the only truly unanimous vote the net's ever seen, which that sounds no way. It's like the internet unanimously deciding something? No. The most beautiful woman in the world. Why the name? People think it's an ego thing, but it's just a random username I picked back when I was grassroots. Then it was a pseudonym to give me a little shade from all the attention. Now it's a brand, and I can't change it without setting the stock market into a spin, so... You're certainly influential after partnering with you. Intel saw a 3,000 increase in share price. Yay! I'm so happy for them, of course. But to be honest, it's like a pain like this sometimes. She gestures to her clothes, a plain white t-shirt and gym shorts, with no branding visible. On anyone else, it might seem sloppy or even unflattering. On her, it only makes her natural beauty stand out much more. Who are you wearing, by the way? Can't wear anyone unless I'm attending something. If I don't dress like this, all my sponsors fall into bidding wars every time I leave the house. Oh my god. So, she's practically owned by companies. Does it stress you? Does it stress you, all the attention? Stress is bad for your skin, right? They say mine's flawless. Can't argue with that. Do you have a skincare routine? Any tips I could share? Be a little bratty. Act a little spoiled. Keeps you young. Raphael, hi. And how old are you exactly? Everyone's like to know. 18 to 29, now and forever. Don't get stuck on a... Oh. God, this is so sad. Because, yeah, it's kind of how it feels like nowadays, too. Like, already. Versus, like, you kind of have to be between those ages to be, like, considered pretty and things like that. And then once you, like, pass that, like, obviously people are, like, I remember, I forgot what it was. And people just started calling, like, Margot Robbie not pretty anymore because she's, like, 34 or something like that now. And I'm just like, what? What do you mean she's not ridiculously gorgeous? Like, that's insane. And it's just like, oh, here's, like, the new, like, 18-year-old who they're gonna, only like for 10 years and then go on to the next new young person. It's so, like, I don't know. Sorry. And yet Pedro Pascal. Well, however old she is or isn't, Luxury's got one hell of a mind for business. It might do her more good than that face in the end. Maybe. It is one hell of a face. In the meantime, she's... Oh! Do I think she's powerless or powerful? I don't particularly like either option thing, because, like, I feel like she's currently, like, owned, but she knows what to say, and she knows, like, oh, she's in demand for people like her. Like, her presence is a 6,000 increase. I'm gonna say she's powerful. Some rices are too metric for even the Megs to grab the reins on. At this point, Luxury's got them at her mercy. She could send their stocks into disarray with one selfie. Good for her. Yeah. Yeah. We're team women here. Okay, yeah, that's him, all right. And we're team him. Hi, you look cool. Looks like he's killing time before he sets tonight. Your son? Your son. Are you unsure how to proceed, Adonai? I'm sure that you need to hang back. As for me, I think you'd appreciate us playing it straight. Straight. Isaac Porter. What's up? My name's Morgan. I was David's friend. Right now, I'm his lawyer. Can we talk? Also, if David was hooking up with him, way to go, David. Depends. Were you a friend from work? No. Over here. Thanks, Isaac. Oh, did we get his thing? Profiles. All right, Isaac. September 18th, September like me. Be positive. Same blood type as me too. Yeah, Isaac, like, get better standards than David. Musician, bassist, likes itineraries. Okay. Likes grilling, champagne. Dislikes resistance training, producers, and ads. Best at gift giving, worst at folding laundry. Favorite quote, I don't do requests. Okay, I'm relating way too much with Isaac here. I love gift giving. I hate folding laundry. I can't. I don't know how much I like itinerary. Like, it's neat. I'm not good at following, like, strict schedules. I'm actually very terrible at it. They can't be worse at folding than you. I don't know. I feel like I got you beat, Raphael. Thanks, Isaac. Thanks, Isaac. Don't thank me yet. I might just sit here, shut my mouth, and stick you with my tab. So what kind of lawyer are you? What kind of friend? I'm his defense attorney. Think you missed the bus on that then, yeah? And I'm the friend that needs to know what happened yesterday. Doesn't everyone? Try somewhere else, friendly lawyer. I haven't seen him in weeks. You know, it's my cat by Hirose. I love Hirose. You might not have seen him, but we both know that you spoke with him over the phone yesterday. Only a short time before he died. How in the hell? Isaac? It's pretty obvious you don't want this particular spotlight to linger on you any longer than necessary, so why don't we cut to the chase? No lies, no playing coy. Fine. Sarah? Yes, Adonai? The hell? Is that thing transmitting? I am not streaming any data, no. You're definitely not on a stream right now. Porter doesn't seem to recognize Sarah either. One more person David was keeping secrets from. I need to record everything for the court. Fine. You two are together, is that correct? Is it? Is it? Oh! Okay, again, Isaac, I don't know what your standards were, but go David! We were together. I ended it. Yesterday. Oh my god. Oh, that's not looking good for you. Like, obviously I don't think Isaac did it, but man, that does not look good for you. I ended it yesterday. Yeah, what if this is like a self-delete? What if this is like, oh man, I fumbled him. I'm leaving the planet. I can't do this anymore. Care to elaborate on our entire relationship? Look, you can tell me everything once and I can get it on the record. Or you can hear the same questions over and over again from 1,000 different cops and Megs for the next 3 months. Stop falling in love with suspects. But look at them. They're like, who do you think did it? Helen or Isaac? And I'm like, neither. They're pretty. We met in a bar. I hadn't seen him come in a few times. I had seen him come in a few times. Each time with someone else. Each time talking with his mouth, but not looking with his eyes. It ticked me off. Scribbling on napkins and letting a single gin and tonic sweat on the table for 2 hours. His dates would all go to the bathroom or take a call and slip out the back. One of them didn't even make it 10 minutes. And he'd still sit there the rest of the night, unfazed. Couldn't tell if he was oblivious or stupid or shameless or the most confident man in the world. And he ticked me off. One night, things were slow and my set had been canceled, and his date hadn't even bothered to think of an excuse before bailing, so I asked him why he insisted on coming here night after night. Just to ignore vapid people he wasn't interested in a shitty bar with drinks he didn't like. And he just said, because I like your music. Oh, David was smooth. Never mind. David's got riz. Man, did that tick me off. It was cute early on. Him being so passionate about work I could barely pretend to understand. And I like that we gave each other space, you know? Felt like we were being mature or whatever. Until... There was no until. No one day where everything turned sour. But at the same point, I started to understand where his priorities were, and how I ranked in them. Like I said, he was passionate about his work. I just wrongly assumed he would also be that passionate about me at some point. How many cases are in this game? I think just chapter 1 right now, and chapter 2 is coming out relatively soon. So I pulled away. Wanted to see if he'd notice, if he'd miss me. Testing him like that isn't the biggest red flag in the world. He never budged. I could ignore him for days and he wouldn't be the least bit ashamed to see me. It's gonna be tomorrow, trust. If I picked a fight, he'd never get angry or upset. He'd just apologize. He didn't want to fight with me. Chaotic, hey! Dropping in just to say hi? Well, thank you for saying hi. Guess he was never invested enough to bother. It was my mistake. I watched him sit there all those nights, not giving a shit when people walked away, and still I had this stupid idea that somehow, for whatever reason, I would be different. That I would be special. But I wasn't. So I ended it. Last night, I called him. Didn't expect he'd pick up. I had everything prepared to leave a message with an assistant or ad or whatever. But he answered. First ring. Without hesitation, shame, or awkwardness. And that ticked me off. So I told him exactly how valued he had made me feel the past few months. I told him exactly how insignificant I felt as the boyfriend of the illustrious Dr. David Asher. And what did he say? He apologized. And then he asked me if that was all I had called to tell him. Oh my god, never mind, David does not have rest. David, no. David. Oh my god. Even Sarah's like, the hell, father? What have you done? You used all your lawyer avatars on Wolfgang, Kakadu, and David. Oof. I hung up after that. Spent the rest of the night wrapped in warm disdain for him and his coldness. He had made that easy for me. So we're talking about David? I went to sleep hurt, but clean, ready for something new. Oh, I think I haven't fixed the despair time one, so there's still exclamation avatar David. And then this morning, I wake up to see that my ex killed himself not 2 hours after he let me walk out of his life, without so much as a don't. What the hell, man? What the hell, David? And now, you're just the tip of an iceberg of lawyers and reporters and buzzards. Parasites who want to hear about the man who sent David Asher over the edge. I never wanted to be his last lifeline, or the straw that broke his back. I just wanted to be his goddamn boyfriend. Turns out I was asking for too much. It's yet to be determined whether David committed suicide. You serious? You don't have all the facts. I don't even have all the facts. I'm working on it. And you do? Anyone that point to anything else? Thought so. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to it. That's it? No summons? The court has no need for you to retell a sad story like that. The court, huh? Sorry to bother you at work. Sarah, let's go. Your I will look up this word later. It's very, your albums, all your music is very impressive. Yeah, thanks. Sarah looking all sad like, father had 0 riz. No wonder he needed an android daughter and not a biological daughter. And your range is remarkable. So pay me to see that all your works in the last quarter have been so melancholy. Have you tried 21st century pop punk? I think. Well, what the hell would you know about any of that? What's the matter? Can't find the words? Need to steal him from somewhere first? Butcher him before shitting him back out? I was not trained on any data sets that... Nah, pardon me. My mistake, really. Not sure... Not your fault you're only standing here because rich prick nerds failed to rob the world blind for most of the century. Sarah, we're leaving. I would say, Sarah's breaking. Anti-AI art king, but also, like, Sarah's different, please. Exactly, I'm like, I mean, obviously, like, I agree with you. Corporations are absolutely going to try to, I mean, they already are, just, you know, stealing all art and just AI garbaging everything, but leave Sarah alone. What the hell was that about? He was under the false impression that I was programmed using a massive automated learning model, an early 21st century, not that. Why'd you talk to him? I wanted to. I just felt that I should say something to him. So is Sarah technically also Porter's daughter? I mean... Didn't... No, you never introduced it. Never introduced them, nope. A word of advice. People don't want comfort from strangers, especially when they're androids. Oh, my bangs look stupid today, don't they? There you go. Now I'm gonna do like the Mavis thing from Hotel Transylvania with my bangs. I think they'll stick like that a bit. They want it from people they want it from. Coming from anyone else is just corn syrup on a parched tongue. Doesn't matter how sweet it is, they'll just start gagging. You know a lot about people, don't you, Adonai? Compared to you, I'm a goddamn savant. Sarah, make this face too, please. Come on, there's not much time left. Is there somewhere you want to investigate? Somewhere I need to return to, actually. Porter was right. As things stand, I don't have any evidence that could establish an alternative interpretation of the facts. But there did exist hard evidence that could prove his death wasn't a suicide. And there's only one place I could find it at this point. In addition to Sarah, the only AI you're interested in is the Somnium Files. Noble employee housing. Platia. Penthouse basement. We're back here again. Okay. The basement. You sure you don't want to look at the crime scene? I'm all out of time. Gotta approach this from the other angle. The other angle? You know. Inductive versus deductive. Flip the chessboard and all that. You like Aegis? Aegis is cool too. Haven't you ever read a mystery novel? I've seen mystery films. Well, let's see if you paid any attention then. What killed David? Oh, wait. wait, no, wait. Morgan, hold on. We just started here. Give me a second. Recreational, or whatever the drugs are. What killed David Asher? Poison. And, okay, never mind. She's gonna answer. Never mind. I was like, oh no, okay, let me do a refresh. 10 points. There's a point system. Now, how did that poison get into his bloodstream? He must have ingested it orally. And how do we know that? The medical examiner found no injection marks or wounds. And if he had inhaled it? Inhaled it? Why? Leave the whys to someone who actually understands them. I won't be able to understand anything if I don't practice. Practice by answering my question. Daring survived. Daring survived, yay! But highly unlikely. We would have found a delivery system in the building, like an inhaler. Right. An airborne poison is either shoved in your face or sprayed over a wide area. And no one around David has shown any kind of symptoms. So all we're left is oral intake. Eliminating the impossible. What's next, Adonai? Jung's corroborated statement was that David didn't exhibit any irregular symptoms or behavior until he started drinking that night. Poison in this game, poison Danganronpa, poison Tetra Blue. Are there any other poisons you should know about? I'm trying to think of like, is there anything else? Is there anything else that we're starting? Well, I guess when we do Antebellum next week, we'll see if there's poison there too. And the police didn't find anything unusual in any of the food or drink in his home. Except for his cup. The results were inconclusive. Jung was drinking from the same bottle and the same type of cup and didn't get sick. That's right, happy birthday with Tade from Tetra Pink and happy birthday Kel from Amori. We have to conclude then that David's cup alone was poisoned. That all seems logical and consistent with the police's theory of suicide. So why are we down here? Minus 10 points. Back to 0? David left the parlor and came back with whiskey and 2 cups. Young told us as much, and apparently the cameras upstairs support her story. So we have to conclude then that he got them both from his bar. Better. 5 points. Did he also get the poison from the cabinet? The police have been in here since we left. According to their ARCS file, they didn't find anything that matches the poison down there. So, the poison somehow went straight into his drinking cup then. I need to flip this around again. But if you turn something 360 degrees, you're just back to... If I were the prosecution, what would I want more than anything? Proof that David knowingly added the poison himself. He wouldn't do that. And you can make that claim because there's no video evidence to contradict you. How long was David off camera? From 7:36 p.m. to 7:40 p.m. when he left the parlor to get liquor from this bar. So, if we had David on camera for those 4 minutes and he doesn't poison himself in that time, he would have a perfect alibi for the crime, proving his innocence. But Adonai, we don't have footage of that. There are no security cameras down here. I think there are. Wait, Sarah was behind a door. She couldn't be a security camera, even if she was off. Is the new Cookie Run Kingdom update today? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's also because we're all both awesome people from 2 different franchises. The same. I know, right? First, I'm like, oh my gosh, why is there a Mori flooding my Tumblr? And they're like, it's Kel's birthday. And I'm like, even better. This whole building is coded head to toe in Penumbra security systems, courtesy of Noble. Every console, every corner, every android on every floor. It's all plugged into Penumbra. You're playing the Wataria episodes in your car while your friend listens to the series? He's finally started to like Wataria Chapter 4? Oh no! You had to go try and get Hidden Lily on normal banner. Except that. That panel is manufactured by Cotter Security Systems. Why would David put his console in a different security system in exactly one corner of his penthouse? I've never given it much thought. Well, it's been bothering me all day. But my curiosity alone can't scale a 64-digit wall. You mean signal hijacking, or whatever you want to call it. Have you tried it before? It is illegal and unnecessary. Father would not. He would not have installed hidden cameras in his own home. He would not have installed hidden cameras in his own home. At the end of the day, I can't make you do anything. Well, actually, I probably can now that you're registered to me. But aren't you the one who wanted to prove his innocence? Eliminate the impossible. I will need your express verbal command. Not like David can press charges against us at this point. Do it. Do you really need me to say that? For the purposes of record keeping, yes. If you... I've gotten past the 64-digit code, and I have found cameras. They are numbered on the... There are a number of them embedded in the room's walls and ceilings. As you theorized, they are on a separate network from the rest of the building. Where are they feeding to if not the penumbra system? Behind my hibernation unit. A false wall in the back of a safe. I don't understand. Why would Father possibly have hidden a system of cameras inside his own home? Beats me. He was brilliant and more than a little odd. Throw in a little money and odd becomes eccentric. I see. I think. I don't. What the hell was he thinking? What was he afraid of? You don't think she knows you quietly crying in the car? Oh no. You're holding my tears so much because you don't want to spoil it. Every time my RL friend who I got into Tetro and she's halfway through chapter 3 in pink. And Kamimura is her favorite character. She loves Kamimura so much. And I'm like, and then she keeps thinking he's gonna do a murder. She's like, why? He's gonna kill somebody. He's gonna kill somebody. And she's so scared he's gonna kill Wada. And I'm like, quiet. I don't know where she's getting that, but probably because Kamimura and Ken constantly like, oh, we could totally take Wada in a fight. They're gonna hate Okazaki's guts. Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're already not really trusting of Okazaki. Why didn't he come for me? Why didn't he come for me too? Time's short. I gotta gather facts now and leave the computation for later. Okay. What makes you so sure he wasn't exercising? Did you ever see him use any of this crap? No, but he must have used the weights when I wasn't looking, since he promised me he'd take better care of his health. Sarah, those weights were all maxed out. David couldn't have put up numbers like these even if he was piloting a frame. Don't be so sure, Adonai. Excuse me? The following is a true story based on primary sources who were present for the event and its aftermath. I'm expecting the Law and Order dun-dun sound. Copenhagen, 1981, 8:10 a.m. local time. A towering man with the musculature of a world-class professional rugby player enters a global donkey bank on Fredericksburg Lane. He explains to the bank teller that he has a bomb in his suitcase and he wants his gym bag filled with unmarked bills. You got your tablet? You're watching Detective Conan earlier. A security guard approaches him from behind with a nightstick and swings. But the man simply catches the weapon and bends it into a twisted knot with his massive dinner plate-sized hands. When asked to describe the suspect to the police afterwards, the teller had only this to say. That man was all muscle. The rest of the bank heist proceeds without incident, and the man exits the building just as police arrive on the scene, when suddenly, his suitcase explodes. But it's just a smokescreen. Local officers quickly recognize the ploy and rush towards the door, grabbing each of the hostages as they flee while desperately searching for the perpetrator. What they find instead is a diminutive, frail, sheepish young man, barely 160 centimeters tall. You need to see Game of the Year? The nominees? Holding a gym bag full of money with no recollection of how he got there. Renowned psychologist and trained hypnotist Dr. Werner Kurtzer wrote the following in his diagnosis. Acute dissociative identity disorder. That's right, the man had a split personality. And so great was the disparity between two halves that when they switched control, he physically changed, becoming taller, bulkier, and capable of previously unthinkable feats. Is this just the movie Split? So be careful what you say. When you say a man like father can't do, just because of how he looks on the outside. Sarah? Every single word you just said was false. Huh? Please don't believe everything you read on the net. I was gonna say, that's just the movie. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, I was like, that's just Split or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Sarah. She was so into it, too. Hellos. Sarah's sources are some tweet from 2012. The liquor cabinet this mystery hinges on. The police have been through it all by now, and they didn't find any foreign contents in any of the spirits. No poison to be found here. Well, not that kind of poison anyway. In which case, can I make you anything? Well, if you're offering, I'll have... Oh, sorry. You're way underage, aren't you? 2 years old or whatever? Native almond scented by the end. Technically. Oh, took that one a lot worse than I expected. Aw, cheer up. Maybe you'll find a mocktail if you climb to the top of the ladder. This is a rolling ladder. A kind of step ladder, not a ladder. What? Remember, a ladder extends, but a step ladder folds out. And... it's important to know the distinction. I bet my life savings this subject will never come up ever again. That is not true. I feel like I am constantly hearing this. And I would like... and I think acts with an E and acts without an E is also another one that keeps popping up all the time for me. Morgan's life savings is just a pile of bones. So, is that the original? It was appraised and confirmed to be genuine. At least it didn't get ripped off. I'm a Philistine when it comes to this kind of stuff. What does an android see? I see a meeting. Or perhaps an encounter. Two apex forces of nature. Two kings of the forest. The stag and the tiger. I think. Great. I'm officially less cultured than the robots. Is there any... Oh. What's the story with this anyway? Some kind of fault in the foundation? I don't know. I've never noticed that crack before. I'm gonna get those eyes checked. There's nothing wrong with my vision. This crack just must have been created during my most recent hibernation. How? Did David drop a weight? A bunch of times over and over in the same spot? Alright, let's refocus here. So there's some kind of hidden door behind your bunk bed, huh? Essentially. Though, a bunk bed would imply a second or third. How do we open it? One moment. I see. Got it open already? I cannot open this door. Why, Sarah? It is a Tethys basic sturdicure. Ah, that anti-hack feature in the name is real. It's a closed system, Adonai. Okay, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Strange. There was an if-then toggle enabled in the security parameters. I don't follow. When Father last adjusted the settings here, he made it so the door would never open so long as I was hibernating. And he made it so I was the only one who could wake her up. Meaning this is a door that only I can open. It'll be a 6-character password, some combination of numbers or letters. Did you and Father have any influential moments in your life that revolved around a 6-letter word? Probably, but I should save. Nothing comes to mind. Is there a code word that he knew only I could learn? Oh, wait. Oh my god. I was supposed to think of something. Okay. 6 letters. What was Morgan's first name again? No, that was like Evangeline or something like that. It was just Morgan. And was that your name you just tried? It's 6 characters, isn't it? Wait, hold on. While I'm in the screen here. What would we know? What would we know? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unique! Unique! Let's try unique next. It's 6 characters, isn't it? Yes, but it's not exactly secure, Adonai. Anyone who knew you and Father were close could have tried guessing it. Pretty much everyone just calls me Morgan. But not ever. Oh, Adonai. Adonai. It's opening. It's opening. What was the password, Adonai? You'd never guess. Ooh. Okay. Did feel a bit out of character, David utilizing so much cloak and dagger tech. I've definitely been struggling with the idea of doing home. I want to check out more passwords. Hold on. Hold on. Let me save the game real quick. What's something silly I can try for a password? I want to try dumb words. Okay. Murder. No. Okay, killer. I'm trying to see if there's any hidden content of behind anything. No, it's 5 letters. Nope. Is it Denda? Porter? Aww. Ugh. I guess not. Alright, let me try one more guess. Let me try one more just silly thing to see if I can pull up anything hidden in this. Okay, think. I'll just put unique in. I think. I don't know, maybe. Alright, load. Never mind. But one step in here and it all makes sense. It's a panic room. Scary. A panic room is a place for rich people to hide in when people start bouncing bricks off their windows and when the purge starts. They're typically not even on the blueprints. So Noble built this penthouse for one of their executives. Someone slipped this into the mix, and it's remained in Noble's blind spot ever since. All David had to do was repurpose it. Make sure you're capturing all of this. I don't want to miss my one chance because of a discovery technicality. I understand, but you needn't specify. My memory is flawless. I can play back visuals, sounds, sensations. I can even give detailed reports on air particles. You mean you can smell? Better than any human, and some canines. So does it smell stale in here to you? Stale? It doesn't to me. Almost like someone's been in here recently. Almost like someone visits here frequently. Alright, let's try booting up the computer. You don't think the console is password protected? 2 physical doors, a 64-digit code, and a half-ton Android, and a secret phrase. If David set a password on his PC after all of that, I'm going back to the morgue to have a word with him. Oh good, it's already signed in. You're looking for camera footage. I'd also settled for a note plainly stating the fact that he feared for his life. What am I doing? Here, you search for video files. They'll probably be timestamped and formatted for short-range devices. I have the subfolder. The cameras stream live data constantly, but the files are clipped at fairly regular intervals. Once a week, it seems. The most recent video file here has footage going back 8 days. It was accessed yesterday at around 4 p.m. You were asleep here then, so the only person who could get in here at the time is David himself. Alright, let's see it then. Of course. It's just that I am having difficulty. Double click! I have been trying to open the files from the moment I discovered them, Adonai. But they are encrypted. Damn it, David. You leave me enough clues to get this far, but you won't let me use your computer. What's the brand of the encryption program? If I rush a subpoena, they might have a back door I can bluff them into. These files were not encrypted with any commercially available tool. This appears to be Father's own work. Shit. If David Asher hand-wrote the encryption on these files, there's no one alive who could... Hey, was Dawes just flattering you back there? Or was your processing power really that special? Adonai, Can you break his encryption, yes or no? With enough time. And how much time would that be? I could estimate about 2 to 6 hours. That's a 4-hour window. No matter how sophisticated, encryption is still just a code that must be deciphered. And when deciphering any code, progress proceeds exponentially, which makes it particularly difficult to determine the amount of time required to complete the process. 2 to 6 hours. Well, I don't have any better options. Get started. I started 4 minutes and 23 seconds ago. Huh, finally showing some initiative. But you've been talking to me this whole time. I have the ability to analyze data in parallel by utilizing subconscious processes, so long as the work required is through. So you're doing it in the back of your head? Actually, I'm speaking to you in the back of my head. You're not important, Adonai. I could give the decryption process my full undivided attention, but I would become non-responsive. Huh, that's a pretty nifty feature. I'll have to keep that in mind. Alright, can you take the show on the road? Or do we have to rip this computer out the wall and find a battery? I have copied the encrypted files and will work on them as we travel. We can leave whenever you are ready. Still can't believe David let me get this far just to shut the door in my face in the last second. But he did let me get this far. And the computer's not the only thing in here. The cabinets are a lot less eye-catching than his computer, but knowing David, it's all the more reason to check. Paperwork, bonds, holdings, a platinum bar? Birth certificate. Might be nearly as valuable. Can't imagine people would pay to steal David Asher's identity. And down here at the bottom, a binder. Noble's logo on the front, and in the middle, enough pages to dwarf one of those phone books you see in period pieces. They're masking it in legalese, even on the table of contents, but basically. Oh, his employment contract. Compensation, grounds for dismissal, definitions of what constitutes breach of contract. Not a light read. Okay. Hold on to this for me, okay? It must be very important if you're giving it to me. It's certainly very heavy. Was there anything else in there? Expecting an updated copy of his will to show up? It is a possibility, isn't it? Maybe in a corny old murder mystery. A widely beloved and respected genre with over 2 centuries of... There is something else. Your papers. That Evangeline Morgan will be given immediate and complete ownership of the android designated Sarah. It's dated a few weeks back? Had he already made up his mind about all of this? If he had, why'd he hide this where no one else could find it? Was I just a backup plan? Well, at least he has something a bit more concrete than Starling's word now. Her word should be plenty, shouldn't it? Not if people realize how precious you are. As a collector's item. Adonai, I'm going to stab you now. You get to meet the one person who knows what the hell you are. But Noble could have easily argued that you fall under private technology or physical holdings. Unless I had something like this. It's good that you do then. I'm glad that Father wanted me to go with a friend of his. Yeah. This'll get me a huge tax write-off when I donate you for a for-profit college. Oh, God. You could at least pick a charitable institution. Oh my God. It's just an old saying. All colleges have been for-profit since the 60s. Jeez. That doesn't make me feel any better. So I'm assuming we never got, in this future, we don't get our universal basic income or free basic free community college. Yeesh. You can cheer me up in the car. He lives right to the courthouse. Priority. There is an upcharge at this hour for priority transportation. Ugh, that's irritating. But I'd like to have just more than a few minutes to repair once we get there. The upcharge is a multiplier of 5.7. You could save money and buy me more marbled beef. I'll prepare on the way over. Very good, Adonai. So I guess we're doing the oh. So do we have all the evidence now? I think so. I think we're out of court now. We could realize some monodams. So who do I think? I don't think it's Isaac. But I really don't think it's Helen either. Like, all of it really just feels like it's David again. Which is weird. Does it excite you, going into courtrooms? What do you mean? You don't feel the tension in the air as the audience murmurs amongst themselves. Well, actually, hold on. Helen's testimony was all super wrong. And that was confusing. But I don't get her motive yet, I guess. Oops, so was that. You don't feel a fiery sense of justice rising in your gut as the prosecution smirks at your ragtag assembly of witnesses. Do you really think this is going to be like some kind of movie where the good guys save the day? Probably not. Though it would be nice if it were. What's your deal anyway? Did David train you off a movie marathon from hell or something? We did watch films together, if that's what you're asking. Though he was really the one who suggested it. Ah, so you're the aggressor. What's an android get out of watching a flick anyway? What do I get? Why do you do it? What's your reason? I'm not sure how to answer your question. Never mind. Forgot what I was talking to. I like the performances. Sure, there you go. Aw, do you got a crush on Humphrey Bogart or something? He's a handsome man. Oh, Sarah. But it's not the actors I like so much as their performance. The truth is, besides father, I have very little experience when it comes to people. Really? I hadn't noticed. I read the net. I watch people and what they share of their lives. But it's all so subtle, so hard to follow. There are so many unspoken rules that can't be taught, only learned, and I often struggle to grasp them. You're all so complex, so detailed. But the characters on screen are exaggerated, larger than life. Is Sarah going to be a movie star? That would be so cute. The actors enunciate. Their body language is precise and meaningful. Their faces are bright and softly lit, and their eyes are... It's fiction. So these characters and their stories, they have a beginning, a middle, and end. And the people on screen don't ask anything of you except your attention. You can't disappoint them or make them feel awkward. You can just watch and learn. But what about you, Adonai? What about me? Do you like movies? So I also like movies because, like, a lot. Like, even though they just closed the movie theater near me, which totally sucks, and I'm like, the closest AMC is like 45 minutes away. I like, whenever I like go to movies, because like I can't have my phone on, I can't get up and leave all the time, so I'm like, I'm not distracted. I feel like I'm just like focused on being in the world of the movie, so I don't have to like think about other things, and it's nice. Like 2.5 hours, I can just like turn off somewhat, but still like, you know, be doing something because I'm still thinking about something. Like sleeping, but not. It's nice. Yeah, sure. Back when I was a kid, I liked movies. Really? Who was your favorite director? What was your favorite film? I love Guillermo del Toro. That's one of my favorite directors. And my favorite films, multiple. I love Gattaca, Clueless, Dead Poet Society. I don't have a favorite. I just have like a lot of movies I just like. It depends on the movie. Like, if it's like if I've seen the movie already and it's fun, I want to share with somebody, then accompanied. If it's something I want to like check before I like make someone come with me, I'll go alone. I don't mind seeing movies alone. I'm okay with that because I can't talk to the person. But I do like sharing the experience of a theater with somebody. If that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, and Miss Pettigrew's Day Off. That is a movie I really, 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 really love, and I bought it on DVD, and I watched it like a lot. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. Have you ever seen a movie alone? Are you just flexing you have so many friends? You're like, oh, I tried going to a movie alone, but I just kept running into all these friends I had. Things are quieter than I expected here at the courthouse. The voice of a courthouse is a bit of a misnomer. Government building is probably... this is, spacious. Government building is probably the best way to describe these towers, all-encompassing and impenetrably vague. 100 floors of officials and documents and paper pushing queues, with a couple dozen courtrooms squeezed along the way. Didn't think I'd be arguing in court when I woke up today. I didn't think my friend would be dead or that he'd have thrust an android into my lap either. I could just walk in there and concede. Emma would be irritated. I'm more than a little confused, but I could play it off as an exercise in grief. The android would complain, loudly of course, but I wouldn't have to listen to it. Now that it's registered in my name, I could probably just order the damn thing to reset its memory. But I haven't done that, and I really shouldn't do that, and I guess I don't plan to. Why? It must be because I have my suspicions as well. Sarah insists that David would never commit suicide, and I haven't actually stopped to ask myself whether or not I agree. David was rational, subdued, private, hard on himself, and not prone to emotional outbursts. So maybe that's why I'm finding myself outside a courtroom, prepared to humor and add suspicions before the state. Because I don't really believe David killed himself either. What's your progress bar at? I can confirm I am making progress. Well, shit, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But it would be difficult to summarize that progress in terms of completion percent. Give it your best shot anyway. 4%. Morgan's just gonna quit right here now. Are you feeling confident in your case? Okay, so we have to stall for 4 to 6 hours. Is that it? I'm markedly less so after hearing that. Do you think the judge will be amenable to your argument? The current updates there? Yay! What are you talking about? Do you know the judge you've been assigned? Are they particularly lenient or strict? Adjutants are always a coin flip, so... You do know what an adjutant is, don't you? I have watched John Wick. I know that the adjutant was really cool looking there. Who does Sarah have a crush on? Humphrey Bogart. Which is, let me see. Let me pull up Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart. That's this fella right here. Lady, hi. That's a choice of, like, I guess, from all the back then actors. Sarah, get better taste, right? Hold on. For, like, old-timey, like, actors. Oh, from, like, Paul Newman, right? I think Paul Newman was, like, super popular. Let me see what it looked like. Yeah, I know he was super popular back in the olden-timey days. I don't know, Sarah's type. Sarah's type is, like, old, like, black and white movie stars back in the day. Oh, who played Atticus? Atticus Finch movie forever ago. Gregory Peck. Yeah, I know. This guy was super popular too. Open image. They all just kind of dudes to me. I'm so sorry, Sarah. I feel like I'm too ace to judge this for you. What's an old-timey actress? Hedy Lamarr? She was really pretty, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, Sarah, get better taste. Look at Hedy Lamarr. She's very pretty. All right, enough 19 whatevers. Looking at actors and actresses. Are you expecting to see a bearded old man with a robe and gavel when we get in there? Or like she likes, I know, I can't judge. I like Scandelabra from Date Everything. Should I not? Adjutants are android judges, okay? With all the authority that entails. I am surprised to hear that people are willing to accept rulings made by automated dependents. Automated dependents preside over trials for states, sold as software, loaned to court-specific hardware, including android bodies. They can interpret trial proceedings and render judgment based entirely on sonographer records if need be. Reviews of adjutants by third parties are shown that they are overwhelmingly more equitable and even-handed in their sentencing than human judges, because they cannot be bribed or intimidated. I was just thinking that. Like, I know there's so, I don't know, maybe I'm just like hearing too many like news stories of like, hey, there's so many like terrible judges, you know, and bribed judges or judges whose families are threatened and all this stuff like that, where I'm like, yeah, a robot judge just seems fair, right? And I know he's fake, right? But he's perfect. Scandelabra is perfect and didn't leave me for crypto. I'm still very upset about that, Mac. But no, Scandelabra and Mateo and Prissy. Those are like my top 3 from Date Everything. Nonary games, what? There's a 9-fold personality. Of course, 999 nonary games. Everything comes back to nonary games at the end. Applicants use a 9-fold personality enneagram for rendering their judgments and building consensus. Known as the nonary system with software engineers. Blah, 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 blah. There have been small number of reported cases where nonary processing has borne particularly enthusiastic or eccentric persona. Oh god, we're gonna get an eccentric judge, aren't we? It was 999 all along. People about to die in here. Presumably in an unorthodox, if not effective, attempt to reconcile particularly disparate opinions across the 9 constitutive personalities, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And back to saving. Rulings come from landmark cases in higher courts. Those are passed down by actual judges, real people, with decades of study and experience. But not every eviction case or traffic ticket that ends up in court requires years of legal expertise. Sometimes, all you need is a referee and a sentencing algorithm. Arena fan, hi! How are you doing? Are you doing okay? I imagine being an Arena fan is a little hard right now. But I believe in you. You got this. I was like, again, like, from Life is Strange, my favorite character is Nathan Prescott. So, I'm used to liking, like, the character everyone hates. So, I'm good. I understand. So, androids are used to reduce caseload. You're fighting for your life and dreams. Listen, Rene's gonna have the best arc ever. And I believe. Been that way for decades. But how was a law that replaced judges ever enforced? Wouldn't there be injunctions, stalling? Oh, judges did fight it for years, at every level and in every theater. But the public lost their patience for that kind of obstruction during the 60s. The state needed to shred budgets across the board. You could fix their trust. And so judges that couldn't be replaced by years of legal battles were instead ushered to early retirement by the unrelenting force of our great nation's accountants. Feeling better is how you felt being an Okazaki fan? Oh no. I saw this really cool fan art of Kumada in the style of Aubrey in Amori, when Aubrey has the baseball bat, and it was so fitting, and I loved it. And it's not controversial. Having machines determine sentencing for human beings. Whatever controversy there is, it gets aimed at the machines, not the people who put them there. And the machines can't lose sleep over it. Besides, used to be that even the most high-profile of crimes would get a court date until weeks or months later. Nowadays, most crimes are prosecuted within a single business week. And that's not rushing things. Keeps people in my line of work on their toes, that's for sure. Okay, real quick, and I'm not going to say much information so I don't say where I used to live. Where I used to live, there is a case where a guy is supposed to get a court thing for something he obviously did at one of my places of work. But they're just waiting, because he's old, they're literally just waiting for him to die, so they keep postponing his case, and it's been like a decade. And it's stupid. So I'm like, God, I wish a robot would just be like, I wish in this case, I'm like, oh man, I want a robot judge for that court case, and be like, hey, get him out of here. I'm just surprised to hear that there's so much haste. Don't they teach you about classical conditioning in android school? You gotta feed the dog immediately after you ring the bell. If punishment doesn't follow the crime in quick succession, the lesson doesn't stick. Who would be Hiro, Tei, Hirose, maybe someone else? Oh, definitely Hirose, right? For the doctor bit? But if adjuvants are so effective, why aren't they used in every trial? Why aren't they used in politics? Huh, that's a very logical question to ask. And the answer is... So would be Hirose? Or so would be Hiro? I was like, but then we wouldn't have Amari if so was Hiro. Or I guess we'd have Platonic, someone else in Mari's shoes. That logic only gets you so far when it comes to people. With Ruka is Mari? Oh no. Not my girl, Ruka. Doesn't everyone want the courts to be as just as possible? If adjutants are truly impartial and incorruptible, everyone wants justice, sure. But there are other considerations to be had, such as disgust. Huh? That's all people really care about with all their morals boiled down to. Just what they do or don't find disgusting. Only problem is, everything's more palatable when viewed through a screen. So when everyone sees the world through AR and cameras, and no one ever gets dirt under their fingernails, you'd be surprised what you can get away with. I don't understand. Yeah, well, therein lies the problem. I want to see our eccentric judge. Nishiguchi is one of the bread twins? Yes! Okay, very important question. Who's Maverick? Who is the Maverick? Okay, courtroom. We're falling in a courtroom. Emma, hey. Just a preliminary hearing, huh? You wouldn't know it from the look on her face. But I shouldn't have expected any leeway once we stepped into the courtroom. Not with her. That's the adjutant up there. Is it asleep? Oh! That is a cool looking design. Like, I don't know why, but it feels very much like the Libra scales, you know, from not Zodiac, the other one, astrology. And which makes sense because, you know, justice and Libra scales and stuff like that. She's very cool looking. Okura as Maverick? Oh my god, nice. She's like 8 feet tall. She tall. She tall. It's loading. She needs to load. Don't be rude. Not every ad can afford to be decked out as extravagantly as you. Big woman. Especially not those the state buys in bulk. There's an audience. You mean the gallery? That's nothing. It could have been a lot worse. Word of any trial in the case of David Asher's death must have spread like wildfire, even in a mock trial like this one. Detectives like Reyes or London would get chewed out for leaking things to the press. But uniformed officers had little to lose and a lot to gain by dropping a text to their attentive friends in the media. And then there's the corporate plants. Interns usually, preferably one with modded eyes. It's illegal to film inside a courtroom, but this is the year 2086. Basil and Wada? Oh, 100% Basil is Wada. Things are gonna get out one way or another. God, I have so much things to draw now. Now I want to draw Monomoko and Mikawa friendship bracelet like image. And now I want to do like an Amori Tetra Blue image too. I don't like having my face on camera. I don't like attention in general. But I'm not such a coward that I'd skip David's funeral just because there'd be paparazzi outside of it. My pretty little likeness is going to end up in the background of some tabloid photograph one way or another by the end of the circus. At least this way, it's decent marketing for my legal services. What will happen when the adjutant finishes loading? You wish you were motivated to do a Mori, so you know what I'm talking about. I was like, I love it, and it is a lot, and it's a lot. Like, emotionally a lot as well. I was like, you just need time to set aside for it. With all those films you watch, I figured you could extrapolate. I am asking as to correct any misconceptions. Well, not everything you saw on the silver screen is outdated. The court will come to order, and there will be a clarification of the charges. The defense enters a plea, and if it's not guilty, the prosecution begins making their case. That means calling witnesses to the stand, correct? Mostly. Sometimes they'll testify virtually from a separate location. Depends on security concerns surrounding the particular individual in the case. What do you do then? Sit here and watch? Not if I want to get paid. I cross-examine witnesses after the prosecution are done questioning them. You're watching a 2-hour video and Amori's starting crying. I just hear Final Duet and I start crying. Like, I can't hear that song without just like exploding emotionally. I can present evidence or witnesses of my own in response, as long as I have discovery backing me. You've said that before. Discovery means just that I can't pull stuff out of my pockets and present it without any kind of context. I have to have proof that I acquired it legally during the course of my investigation. Most of the time, that means having recordings or witnesses that can verify my investigation. Curiosity is very big. You didn't think I was letting you tag along because I liked you, did you? And the jury, I don't see where they would sit. The jury hasn't sat in an actual courtroom for years now. They have their own chambers where they watch a feed of the trial's proceedings in anonymity. Oh my god, I feel that's how it should be done anyway. Oh, maybe not. Because you have to be able to oh, I don't know. And that's not an issue? Don't people want to look someone in the eye before passing judgment on them? You've got an old-fashioned sense of justice, don't you? But there's no jury at a preliminary hearing anyway. It's only meant to evaluate whether or not the prosecution has enough evidence to go to trial. A mere formality in today's day and age. With tools like optics and arcs, there's never any shortage of evidence to work with. So all you have to do today is convince the adjutant. Easier said than done, Sarah. Adjutants lean heavily towards evidence over arguments. And right now, all the evidence suggests that David killed himself. It's going to be an uphill battle. I can't afford to stumble. I need to focus on establishing an alternate interpretation of the facts, and it needs to be solid. But I don't have a suspect or even a motive for killing David. Yeah, okay. I'm glad she doesn't either, because I was like, God, I don't have either of the two main things about why and who. Anyway, I'll need to be sharp. Emma doesn't play nice enough for me to be anything less. I think it's waking up. Okay. Let's see how she is. Okay. This third lower court is now in session. Adjutant AD-84 presiding. I call to the order of the people versus Asher. If she's an Ace Attorney, she would even cross testimony a parrot. God, the design is so cool. Everything about, like, the way this game looks is so cool. Like, when it's finished, it has to go for, like, an art direction award at minimum. Please. Please. Do the people wish to make an opening statement? No, Your Honor. No point in bothering with just an adjutant here. Very well. Do the defense wish to make an opening statement? Not this time, Your Honor. Might as well ring the bell and get the shit show started. If neither the people nor the defense wish to make an opening statement, then... Oh god, is she Metatron from Undertale? It falls on me to set the stage. My model name is Adjutant. My unit designation code is AD-84. I am a machine, an automated dependent, and I serve the state by presiding over trials. You might find yourself wondering why. What gives a machine the right to judge a human? A fair question, but the answer is simple. In every culture, in every society, no matter how it is worshipped, enshrined, or deified, justice has one defining quality. Justice is beautiful. Like a balanced equation, like the golden ratio, like the Vitruvian man, justice is beautiful. He says the heartbeat in the background now. The sound, yeah. So, what gives me the right? Oh my god. Why can I have to do... Why can I be justice because I'm hot? Whatever. Forget it. Forget I said anything. I was trying to lighten the mood, but I can see everyone hates me. Oh my god. Just do the track without me. They're guilty or whatever. Your Honor? Oh, we have to look up 80. December 2nd. Height, tall. Weight, 299 kilograms. No blood. Adjutant likes raw salmon, running water, gymnastics. Dislikes criminals, contrarians, pigeon. Libra, self-assigned. Let's see, September 2nd is Virgo. That's Virgo for sure. Type, open, obedient, observant, O people. And she just likes criminals. Leave pigeons alone. Oh, just likes pigeons? Oh no. I was onto something with the Libra. I love it. She's like, oh, I'm not a Virgo, clearly. The 8th letter of the alphabet is H and the 4th letter is D. So the corresponding numbers to her name. Her name is ADHD. Oh my god, amazing. Amazing. Raphael, those are, measurements of a certain kind. So, you know, bust, waist, hips, that's what she listed there for her sizes. Your Honor? What the flip? Oh my god, wait, what is this? God, this trial. This defendant's like already dead. Why are we even doing this? Is this a debug thing? Because I'll let the error if I need to. No, Your Honor. This is a preliminary hearing to determine whether David Ashton did in fact commit suicide as he... I get it. You want to make sure he wasn't cuckoo in the cranium before he cut up his will like a T-bone. I didn't realize adjutants were so lively. They aren't. They're supposed to be austere and statuesque. Looks like we got served the most in need of repairs adjutant in the court system could find. Whatever paper pusher we rushed to get this trial going must have wanted a little payback for the kindness. What's that look for? Could it be you're like trying to size me up? Oh my gosh, she's blushing too. Wouldn't dream of it, Your Honor. Good, because like, if you have doubts on my ability to run this trial, I can always just enact summary judgment here and now. I'm sure you find my ruling to be fair and even-handed. That won't be necessary, Your Honor. She's much more of a character than I'm used to seeing up there, even counting on the flesh and blood judges I've met. But she's still just an adjutant. She'll follow the evidence where it leads. So long as I can make a few adjustments for the occasion. From the occasional outbursts on the bench, my plan's still workable. So, people, shall we get started with that first witness? Right away, Your Honor. The people called Dr. Yumi Sato to the stand. We're like Phoenix writing it out. Yay! It's Yumi. Hey. So, how about it, pretty lady? You swear to tell the whole and unadulterated truth to the best of your ability, or like, whatever? I do. Good enough for me. Dr. Sato, you're in charge of the autopsy for David Asher, were you not? Yeah, I was. And when did you make your examination? Started last night. Well, technically 1 a.m. would be very early this morning. I think you could say last night if you're talking about 1 in the morning. Objection! To 1 a.m. in the morning? It being last night? Okay. The defense will have the opportunity to cross-examine. Until then, they should refrain from making errant remarks. Sure. The hell? All I said was, I know, she's already like, ugh, we breathed wrong. Objection! Yeah, like what she said. You mean sustained? Don't get cute with me, counselor. Whoa! Wait, she can eat my coins? Uh-oh. Being cute is totally my job. God damn it, we've barely even got started. That seemed pretty bad, Adonai. Making mistakes will increase your blind. Blind is how much credit you'll lose for answering incorrectly when you yourself aren't controlling the ante. Blind increments on its own throughout the trial as the stakes get higher, but resets at the end of each day. Blind starts and caps out at a higher number if you're playing in high roller. Mind the blind numbers in the top left when it appears. And up to you gauge what you stand to lose. Oh god. Every mistake piles up? Yeah. We should try to avoid being penalized in the future. Thanks. Shake it off. I'll get my chance to raise objections of my own soon enough. Dr. Sato, were you able to determine the cause of death? Yeah, he passed away due to respiratory failure. Could you explain what that means to the court? Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen into his blood. Seems by the time you arrived at the hospital, he was no longer breathing. What does respiratory failure look like? What are the symptoms? There would be lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting, pale skin, and a bluish tinge around certain extremities. And the condition he was in matched those symptoms. Yeah, correct. In your experience, what are the most common causes of respiratory failure? Oh, it can be caused by injury or disease. But the subject had no wounds or reported illnesses, and otherwise appeared to be perfectly healthy. They screwed us at the start, right? We didn't even do anything, really. And what else could cause respiratory failure, then? Oh, it's also commonly seen in fatal drug overdoses. Drug overdoses. Did you perform a tox screen on Dr. Asher? Yeah, but his tox screen came back clean. Whatever killed him, it wasn't something we've encountered before. Wait, a clean tox screen? Like clean? Dialogue will proceed automatically during testimony, but you can still choose to advance text manually to continue. You'll need to read carefully and wait for the witness to make a statement that sounds wrong. And then hit call to call their bluff. Hover over the call button or toggle on Insight to focus on the claims of the witness statement. Testimony will leap until you call. Evidence. Yeah, no, it wasn't clean. Unknown substance in the bloodstream. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, it was not. Passed due to respiratory failure. Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen to his blood. He experienced lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting. Choosing to call and assume you need to respond with evidence. Look over the 3 cards that show up. Confirm your card before the timer runs out. That is a... Oh my god, I was reading too slow. I really want the other one. Open your mouth without thinking, huh? Only one... No! Only for one airhead is Kermit. It's not you. It's me. Of course, Your Honor. Okay, hold on. Let me check the evidence real fast. Okay, whiskey. There's nothing in the whiskey. I mean, it has to be the cup. Reload. I can lose one. I'll lose one. I will save right here, though. Objection! Wanna bet? You're joking, right? Just trying to keep things light. This is my job. Okay. So that was wrong. God, I love. It's very cool looking. But now I'm definitely gonna be using that reload button. It did not back clean. There we go. Okay. Oh, right. Why would it come back clean if he was literally drinking whiskey? I was thinking too far ahead. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I got this. I can lock in. I got this. It's impossible for David Asher's talk screen to be clean, and we all know it. Since he was on camera drinking alcohol the night that he died. Ah! That totally makes sense. And that scared you? The witness merely misspoke, Your Honor. As it plainly states in the tox report itself, Dr. Asher did have alcohol in his blood, but not as such as a concentration to be lethal. Oh, yeah, my bad. When I said the tox screen was clean, I just meant it didn't tell the attending physicians anything they didn't already know. Overall, a little more nitpicky than I like to be, but at least I was able to bounce the momentum more or less. Shall we continue, Dr. Sato? If the tox screens were negative for pharmaceuticals and drugs, what caused Dr. Asher's respiratory failure? During my autopsy, I analyzed his blood and was able to isolate a foreign compound. So there was a lethal dose of drug inside his body. It just happened to be a drug that the hospital had never encountered before. Yeah, that's correct. I think we're all going to get pretty tired pretty fast if we don't at least pick a placeholder name for this substance, Your Honor. The people don't object, Your Honor. Also, back to saving the game every few seconds. In that case, I'll put all my creative heuristics to work becoming an original, scientific, fitting name for substance. A name like Omega 3? No. No. I like your stars in your mask, but no. Because Omega 3 is already a vitamin. That name is already taken. Fine, call it Delta Rune or whatever. Delta. Used in science to denote an unknown variable. Not bad. We're gonna call it Delta Rune. Delta Rune has other meanings when it comes to drugs. But yeah, our Delta Rune matches no known public pharmacology or toxicology records. That being said, chemically, it does have all the hallmarks of a general depressant. I know the feeling. So it stands to reason it would exhibit a similar effect on the body when ingested. You say ingested, why? Oh, I eliminated all their possibilities during my examination of the body. He must have swallowed it, and judging from his stomach contents, it must have been a liquid. Thank you, Dr. Sato. Shall I summarize things to the court? Yeah, please. I totally wasn't listening that closely. The victim died of respiratory failure. His toxin showed the blood was clear of anything that could cause respiratory failure. Except for the unknown substance, the poison were labeled Delta Rune. Well, sounds like textbook suicide. Should we wrap it up here? Not quite yet, Your Honor. This may be clearly a poisoning. There's at least one detail about this case that doesn't feel like a suicide at all. Junk testimony. People shouldn't get ahead of themselves. There's nothing textbook about the supposed suicide that had a witness sitting there watching it happen. As you say. Well, now I'm lost. Was this poisoning a suicide or not? If that's the case, then perhaps we should give the defense the opportunity to cross-examine. Unless they're going to insist on testifying themselves. Aw, how kind of you to offer. Ball's in my court now, so how do I counter? With saving the game. Emma's argument basically goes as follows. David ingested... Oh, wait. Oh, okay, never mind. David ingested the Delta knowingly, and the Delta causes respiratory failure. He died of respiratory failure, thus David committed suicide. I was like, we're playing blackjack, clearly. Every piece of information you learn deals you a card. Choose only questions that are logical and relevant, and only press if you think a line of questioning is worth continuing. Oh god, okay. This is very cool, but very stressful. Or else you'll go bust and lose credit. Select the press option to see what the follow-up question would be. You can only win blackjack when you reach exactly 21. Don't press further if you're already there. Don't ask wrong questions. With my cross-examination, I need to put a microscope over the weakest point of the argument. I'll let some cracks appear under the pressure. Sure it was ingested? Are you sure it was respiratory failure? Are you sure Delta's to blame? Oh no, I don't like any of these. You sure it was respiratory failure? Are you sure Delta's to blame? Dr. Sato, you're only able to identify the presence of Delta after hours of work. Can you really be sure that this never-before-seen chemical can cause respiratory failure? Well, I have had the time to run simulations, and they do give every indication that this would act as a depressant. And just enough of any depressant, respiratory failure would occur. Only simulations? Possibly actually does something other than respiratory failure. Well, no, not, okay, nope, that was bad. That was bad. I think I was right on the bottom one. You ran simulations? So you haven't tested Delta on the actual person? No, I haven't. That'd be very difficult to do given our extremely limited sample. Not to mention highly unethical. Of course. But without such a test, you don't actually know for sure that Delta can cause any of the symptoms you've described. Was there a question in that statement, counselor? You don't actually know for sure, do you? No, not yet, anyway. Wait, but I like that one. Oh, god damn it. Okay, you sure it was ingested? Dr. Sato, you said that the subject had to have ingested the Delta orally. How can we be so sure about that? Pretty sure? I mean, I can go into detail about all the cavities I checked, but... Stay. Okay, hold on. So this one's 10. So if I ask about respiratory, that's 10. Okay. So let me go back. Sorry, this was a little hard. I'm getting it. Okay. So I ignore this completely. You start with 12. Yeah. It's not an automatic loss. How can we be sure that the subject ingested the Delta knowingly? Well, we can't be sure of that. Certainly not just from an autopsy. You said it must have been a liquid, yes? Would it have been a large amount? There we go. Okay. Depends on the concentration of the delivery solution. It could have been just a drop. The kind of thing that could easily go unnoticed, yes? Calls for speculation, Your Honor? Withdrawn. Aw, man. I want to jump on her case. Seems like that's time for Dex to save the game again, because I did something right for once. Blackjack. Again, I know I said this plenty of times, I absolutely love the way that the court systems run. Thank you for your time, Dr. Sato. We all appreciate it. But it does seem like we're still in the dark about many details regarding Dr. Asher's death, wouldn't you say? Well, poisoning via the compound we're calling deltarune is still the most likely explanation. So there are other explanations for what happened? Defense is calling for speculation, Your Honor. It's not speculation when a medical examiner is attempting to explain the cause of death, Your Honor. Yeah, the witness will answer the question. Well, a respiratory failure can be caused by illness. If he had undiagnosed pneumonia or some other disease, and his respiratory system was weakened. Undiagnosed pneumonia with his level of healthcare. I mean, it is technically possible. I'll take it. I have no more questions for this witness. Ugh, that felt weak, but I can't be picky when I'm stalling for time. Yeah, we are stalling for 6 hours. Come on, Sarah. Go, go, go. Leading doubt wherever I can, however I can. It's just about all I can manage. Emma just falls asleep. Detective Reyes, you're one of the leads in investigating this crime scene. Yeah, ma'am. And did you interview the EMTs who first arrived on the scene? I did. They responded to emergency signal from the home security console located in the kitchen. What did they find when they arrived on the scene? The victim was unconscious on the floor of his parlor. He was receiving CPR from a witness, the individual who had called them. They were both airlifted to Gatesville Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Asher was declared dead shortly after arriving there. She's actually handling herself pretty well up on the stand. I half expected her to roll her eyes during the swearing-in. But when you take into consideration her love for boot-heel authority, she might be right at home in the courtroom, the very seat of the state's power over the people. The witness met with the deceased about half an hour before he fell ill, from 7:30 to 8 p.m. The two of them talked for some time and shared a drink. Shortly after, Dr. Asher became distracted, lightheaded, and eventually non-responsive. During the same period, drinking the same liquor, this witness exhibited no symptoms themselves. None. Though, through a collaborative effort with Noble Electronic Security Division, we searched the entire building. We found nothing unusual in any of the food or drink on the premises, including that bottle that the witness had a deceased drink from. So what was your ultimate conclusion after investigating the scene? The whiskey bottle was clean, the witness's drink was clean. Only person who got sick was Dr. Asher, drinking from a cup that he prepared. So it was our determination that Dr. Asher committed suicide by poisoning himself. She's pretty tight-lipped here, but I think she slipped up once. The police want to claim that they've eliminated every other possibility and covered every angle. But I know that there are a number of blind spots that they are not willing to admit to. Okay, so we have upright cup, David's cup, poison. Oh wait, David's cup. Asher with the witness 7:30. The one who prepared their drinks. There's an opportunity for the witness to ever slip him something. I feel like that's right. He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned. Pretty kind of dry. Just be sure we scan the kitchen, the lab, and the basement. There's no poison anywhere else. Damn it. Okay. Okay, hold on. Hold on. So my options were... Davis cup. Okay, so whiskey's evaporated. So we can't make that claim. Okay. Call. Davis cup. Yes! Got it. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. You can't make that claim. Not when the evidence record clearly shows that the tests of Dr. Asher's cup were inconclusive. So, you know what? Oh, we're doing all these little fights. Battle Royale. The police can't claim he drank from a poisoned cup without first proving that his cup was, in fact, poisoned. You're talking like a lot of sense, lady. Does it resolve, or do you have a response, DA Rockford? Testing the deceased cup has been inconclusive so far, Your Honor. I don't dispute that. Though, I'd be surprised if the defense has any idea how else the poison could have possibly been delivered to Dr. Asher alone. Nanobots. Oh, not this time. But that's the funny thing about the burden of proof. It's not on the defense. As we are all aware. Right. We all knew that. I definitely knew that. Is she playing on the Switch? Now, if the people are done bemoaning that pesky innocent until proven guilty issue, perhaps I can begin my cross-examination. Fire away, baby. Fire away, baby. Okay. Saving. Now at Switch 5, now a daily subscription payment. Oh my god, imagine how Switch got even more like subscription stuff on it. Raises testimony is meant to show that David's the one who could poison himself. Just be on guard, heart's hitting against me. If I keep her focus on limiting other possibilities, I can get her to make a point for me before she even realizes what happened. Detective, isn't it possible that Dr. Asher was poisoned off camera? Possible. I don't know how else it could have been. Legend goes to show it had to have been suicide. The only time he was off camera. Oops. Ignore that final one completely. The only people you saw on the cameras that night were Dr. Asher and this witness, correct? Yeah. There's no footage in the house of anyone else. Are there any other parts of the house that aren't recorded by camera? Sure. There are a number of rooms in the... Okay, so 2 is from this one. The number of rooms in the home's interior that don't have cameras in them. So it's possible that there were other people there that night, because cameras weren't watching every room. No, that's not possible. The only way up to that penthouse is through the building's elevator or the fire escape stairs, both of which are on camera. And that still wouldn't get you past his front door, which is also on camera. No one else besides the 2 of them were there that day. I feel we can stay on that. Detective. We've been doing a lot of assuming and reasoning in quick succession, so I'll ask this plainly for the court. Is there any photographic evidence showing David Asher adding anything to his drink that night? No. Okay, so 3 from that. Seems he had already poured for the both of them by the time he returned to the parlor. He had already poured? In that case, the next question seems to be when and what. Wait, did I not be able a chance to do that? Okay, I guess I'll press this. And if they had been there before yesterday, then we would have seen them leaving. Nope. Didn't even see what we said there. Okay, so we'll just do the first one. Okay, no. Okay, load. Okay, what was this one? What number was this? One Ace. Okay, if we had found poison at the scene of the crime, that would be pretty important, don't you think? What about his lab, his bedroom, the basement? No, no, and no. We didn't find Deltarune or any other unusual substance in any part of his penthouse. Right, they never found any poison. No poison at all. Well, I had to press. At any point in the investigation, was poison found in the body of the deceased? No? He must have searched. Did he have any capsules or vials? Eyedroppers? Didn't even have his wallet on him. Why? Wait. Any poison in the kitchen? Detective Reyes, during the course of your investigation, did you find any samples of deltarune in the kitchen or parlor? No. That was a fast answer. Oh, already X that. Should I press again? Okay. You only go to the pen. Okay, yeah. Stay. I'm at 21. Stay. Thank you for enlightening the court about this point, Detective. What point? Well, I think it's strange, don't you, Detective? I mean, how could he possibly have poisoned himself without first procuring some poison? Oh, what do you mean procure? Where did it come from, Detective? The poison that you're so sure was dissolved in his drink. It can't have come from thin air, you understand. It had to have been in another container at some point. Whatever it wasn't before, it probably evaporated. All of it? It only took a small droplet to kill. Your Honor, are you going to ask them to keep it civil? In a minute, sure. I'm playing Mario Sunshine right now. There wasn't any pill bottles in his bathroom or syringe in his pocket containing this apparently deadly substance. So how did he get it? What did he keep it in? The police want to claim that Dr. Asher committed suicide because they have established that his guest never had an opportunity to kill him. But they fail to prove that the victim had the means to kill himself. And I guess I'll be the one to move things along. The deltarune didn't come out of thin air, Counselor. And it didn't come from a syringe either. Dr. Asher was able to drip the poison right into his cup. Straight from the start. Nuh-uh. Shit, that's way too specific to be a bluff. Allow me to submit to evidence Exhibit G. Excuse me, what? What do you mean submit to evidence now? A piece of machinery found in Dr. Asher's laboratory. Sold? Oh man, no. She's taking the nanomachines excuse I'm going to take. Sold under the product name Manufacturer. Oh, I totally know this one. It's used in delicate scientific work to produce nanomachines, chemical compounds, and polymers. That's the same machine I saw when Dawes gave me a tour of the production floor. Very good, Your Honor. It's a valuable tool in any scientific laboratory, and Dr. Asher was well acquainted with its use. As a matter of fact, he had a number of presets coded into it. Even the android can see where this is going. With just a few taps, he can produce any number of specific substances for his research. Or any other chemical his heart desired, really. You think Randog Mechanics would allow their product to be used to produce illicit chemicals? Using the manufacturer to make unlicensed drugs does go against their terms and conditions. So Dr. Asher's warranty is certainly null and void. But they can't hard-code the machine to prevent the production of the drug that hasn't been invented yet. That's... Dr. Asher died when his respiratory system failed because of a depressant overdose. For him, it would have been peaceful, like falling asleep. You see, he didn't need to commission a synthetic drug from some street vendor, or order an exotic poison from overseas. He could produce deltarune at any time in the comfort of his own home. A quick and painless death, readily available in under a minute at the touch of a button. Specifically, preset 19. What? 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 I thought I actually had something for a moment there. But I was playing to Emma's hand the entire time. What? It wasn't here. Nanomachine, manufacturer. Oh god, vacuum sealed too. Foundable factory. Presets of the model's history exists for a compound identical to the substance found in his bloodstream after his... Well, damn. Well, damn, David, this sucks. Couldn't make things easier for me, could you, David? Seems like we're done with this witness, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am. Before we move on, perhaps we should take a moment to put together time into events as we know them. Not for me, of course, just in case someone else might need it. Simple enough. We know that Dr. Asher left the parlor and went down to the basement at 7:36 p.m. That's when he got the whiskey and the cups that they drank from. The cameras show him returning to the parlor to drink with the witness at 7:40 p.m. And of course we know that he fell ill and passed away shortly after. Any objections so far, Counselor? I mean, it's right so far. Not this time, no. The timeline you described is accurate as we know it. As you say. With this latest piece of evidence, we now know that Asher could have easily dispensed the poison directly into his cup. By placing it inside the manufacturer, activating the preset, and simply waiting 2 minutes. Easily accomplished during the 4 minutes he spent off camera, from 7:36 to 7:40. Wouldn't you say? Oh, a complete timeline of events. He had the means, he had the opportunity. Seems like we're ready to wrap it up here, no? Where are we on that loading bar of yours, Sarah? Adonai, I had a feeling you'd say that. Well, Counselor, are we done here? No, I have to raise. Aw, feels like we're missing at least one biggie thing here, folks. Namely, motive. Oh, right. I totally knew that. I wasn't getting excited to fish earlier or anything. Sorry, am I blind -7? Jeez. This is a preliminary hearing, Counselor. Our focus should be on the evidence, so it just feels like an awful waste of tax dollars to get us all the way down here for debate and not get to the truth of the matter, you know. So I was hoping we wouldn't have to go through this next part. What are you talking about? Your Honor, if it pleases the court. Ooh, new evidence. Gimme, gimme. This is a recording of a phone conversation dated at 6:30 p.m. last night between the deceased and a man he was in a relationship with. A man named Isaac Porter. Porter and David's breakup call? If Emma was presented here and now, then the content must be irrelevant, Your Honor? Yeah, that. What bearing does this recording have on the case at hand? It establishes what emotional state the deceased was in on the day he died. Cool. Begin playback. Hello. Aw, Sarah's like, Dad. Oh, he's so soft-spoken. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's so soft-spoken. Aww. Isaac? You there? Oh. Yeah, I'm here. What's wrong? I don't know. Guess I was expecting you to pick up. Why not? Did you mean to call me? Yeah, I did. You gonna ask me how I've been? Yeah. How have you been? Christ, David. What's the matter? Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Whatever you did? That's alright, man. I'm sure you are sorry. I didn't want any more apologies from you. I'm sorry? Okay. And I don't think I want anything from you anymore, David. What do you mean? I shouldn't have done this. This was unnecessary. He's saddled with unnecessary feelings. My bad, man. For not taking the hints. With you, it's always better left unsaid, right? More efficient that way so you can keep on working. Isaac, if I've been distant with you, or nah. You haven't been distant with me or cold with me or anything with me for a while now. Isaac. Just forget it, man. Forget I called. Forget it all, yeah? Let's just forget we were anything but strangers. That's all we are now, anyway. Isaac, recently, I've been distracted, I know. Nah, don't worry about it. Really, we're good. Oh. Okay. So, do you need anything, or should I... Sarah's is like, Father, your autism is showing. Your autism is showing. I was like, David, where did you even get this? All of Dr. Asher's incoming and outgoing phone calls recorded by the building's penumbra system. And the recording continued for several seconds after each call was ended for quality assurance. Remind me to check the terms and conditions on my next phone bill. Shall we hear the rest? Gotta be the last time. The last time I let someone. The last time. Father. It might just be a call, but it makes for some pretty damning evidence at this point in the discussion. Emma's got her means, opportunity, and motive all lined up. So why is she looking at me like that? With those big brown doe eyes? That was totally depressing. Can we finish up without anything else that horrible? Oh, you're a crying face. Emma's never been apologetic in victory. So does that mean this is just pity? Less than 2 hours before David Asher died, Isaac Porter ended the relationship over the phone. Wait, wasn't he preparing for more than 2 hours though? Did we not get that as evidence at one point? Or is that we're waiting for Sarah, from Sarah? All phone calls received are made inside the Noble Executive Apartment building. Recorded. Okay. The court can make a reasonable assumption about what kind of mental state Dr. Asher was in last night. That was a bad move, Miss Rockford. And then, if the people have nothing further to add, I've been feeling off my game all day, caught between corporate inbreeders and ant brain protesters, but pitying me? Here? And now, oh, we're unlocking serial killer Morgan. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. That's all it takes to get my blood properly boiling. It's about time for me to call my first witness, no? You want to keep going after that? What are you doing, counselor? Just calling the ultimate silver bullet, rock solid slam dunk witness a girl could ask for. Is here good? Does it matter where I put my hands? Miss Starling, thank you for coming here today. Of course, yeah, whatever I can do. What is your relationship with the deceased? I was his executive assistant at Noble Electronics. I would arrange his meetings, coordinate communications between him and other departments, that sort of thing. Ultimate silver bullet? Starling is the only play I have right now, the only stalling tool I have left. For now, I just focus on getting as much information from her as possible. Whether or not it's useful, it'll at least buy me some time. While Jess was being sworn in, Sarah mentioned that the hard drive is about 60% decrypted. Considering the rate that Sarah's going so far, it's about maybe an hour or more left. I might be able to stall for that long if I talk real slow. I'd like to ask a few questions about Dr. Asher. Please answer them to the best of your ability. Right. Dr. Asher was a well-known public figure, but was he well regarded professionally? Of course. Dr. Asher's works at the bar for the entire automated dependent world. Stay focused, Spearmint. You say you coordinate his communications. Were there ever threats? Did people ever express an intent to harm him? Objection. Calls for speculation. Intent? I'm thinking this is gonna be a sustained. Did anyone ever threaten him? There were times where he was the focus of negative attention. How so? Dr. Asher was a favorite subject of many conspiracy theorists. With all his contributions to the field, it was easy for them to make claims about his influence. They say his work was plagiarized or that he was hiding illegal subcommands of technology he had developed. And people would contact him about these conspiracy theories. Relevance. Whether or not people wanted to kill him? Well, withdrawn. Miss Starling? People would attempt to contact him, yeah. But their messages were always too vague for the police to take action on. They'd always say he belonged in jail or that he couldn't avoid the truth. Or someone just do something to shut him up. Did they ever talk about hurting him? Yeah. But, I always turn those messages straight over to the police. Yep, I'm totally seeing that on the record. Yeesh, who writes this stuff? All those cases have long since been resolved, Your Honor. And none of the parties involved have had contact with David Asher in years. The police take harassment very seriously when it comes to rich people, at least. Something you want to add, Counselor? Just clearing my throat. May I continue? You worked with Dr. Asher for many years. Did you have a relationship outside of work? Did you ever talk about anything besides professional concerns? Sure. We've gone to dinner or met on the weekends. I think he liked to pick my brain since it needed relationship advice, like, a lot. Evie didn't realize what he was asking for. I like to think that he knew he could talk to me, but... Did he ever talk to you? Or to your knowledge, anyone else about hurting himself? Oh god, no, never. Do you know of any history he might have had with mental illness, depression, anxiety? No? So when you heard the people argue that Dr. Asher had done this to himself, I was totally shocked. I couldn't believe it. You're saying you can't believe... Objection. On what grounds? Asked and answered, stalling. And also... The people have documents that would be of interest in the court on this matter. Juicy. And what matter specifically referring to? The deceased's mental health history. Oh, God. Emma wouldn't be speaking up if she didn't have something real. So what the hell is this about? We have private correspondences that describe... If they're private, then they should not have been obtained by the people without his permission. We can't give permission if he's already dead. And we're well within our rights to obtain evidence as it pertains to his crime. Convincing! Damn. I didn't honestly expect to stop her from admitting her evidence into the record. I was at least hoping to slow her. Where are you on that footage? 77%. Approximately. We're gonna get to like 95% and then reach like the end of stream. I need to buy whatever time I can, however I can. Even if that means running out the clock as a punching bag. I have here messages between Dr. Asher and a psychiatrist he was meeting with and speaking to for the past year, along with the paperwork detailing how his treatment was covered under his platinum plan. Platinum? Platinum? Was he on platinum this whole time? I thought... Platinum. Whatever. I'll get to that. Oh, okay, I guess. But I am prepared to read excerpts from messages and transcript from phone calls, which when put together paint a clear picture of the kind of stress David Asher was experiencing and the dark thoughts he was struggling with. Transcripts of his phone calls? I'll admit them into evidence, assuming there are no objections. Oh, let me save the game, because I feel like she wants me to decide what to do here. Stay? Object. No, I don't. Except what she said. No, I do. Oh, nope. Never mind, we do object. I'll gladly object. On the grounds of the Foundation, where did you say you got this? It was retrieved from his digital records. There's no reason to doubt its authenticity. Maybe I have to point out the fact... Oh my god, I even said it and I didn't object. I'm dumb. Even I were to point out the fact that David had an executive level 4 plan, not a platinum plan. What? Really? Really? Yes, really. It's all there in the record. This is easily explained. David had an executive plan that Noble managed for him. He was also seeing a psychiatrist both in person and over the phone. Your own witness attested that he dealt with stalkers and was worried for his privacy. So it's easy enough to reason that he had a separate insurance policy that he paid for on his own. Even if it was only to keep one thing out of Noble's grasp. Sure, easy enough to make that assumption, but it doesn't make it correct. David used a separate insurance to hide his psychiatrist from Noble's spying? Nah, he was smarter than that. Estimation of Sarah. Nope. All buildings are covered. Yeah. Max out this good. Recorded calls. Oops. Oh, right. I put over something. Hold on. Where do I put this again? How do I? Oh god. Okay. Oh, over here. There we go. David very well may have wanted a private psychiatrist, someone who didn't work for Noble, who would have his best interests at heart. But if so, he would have contacted them over the phone. Not when he knew all his phone calls were being recorded. That's... David Asher was well versed in having every aspect of his life overanalyzed by data-hungry parasites. Do you really think he would try and hide mental health problems from them with a second insurance policy? Apparently, yes, since I'm standing here with evidence that shows exactly that. Does it, though? Pardon me? Yeah, like, what exactly are you suggesting, counselor? Still not done decrypting? It's difficult to... Right. What the hell? I wasn't listening for the fences at this point. I'm not trying to muddle the issue or confuse the court, Your Honor. I would never make outlandish, unsubstantiated claims for the sake of causing drama. What are you... I'm merely concerned that the DA Rockford has been an unwitting pawn in an act of corporate espionage. What? If the markets are open Monday, people believe that David Asher, the man who programmed the brain of every Noble android, was battling mental health issues for the last several months. Objection? Mischaracterization? Foundation? Everything? There are no corporate spies in this courtroom, counselor. There are no boogeymen hiding under the bench. Oh, thank God. David Asher was a once-in-a-generation intellect, an extremely valuable human asset to his employers. And his employers' many enemies would do whatever they can to destroy his credibility now that he can't defend himself. And he was also your personal... You shouldn't even be here arguing this case in the first place, counselor. Now you're trying to call the police's evidence gathering into questioning? All because you can't admit, for the past several months, your friend's been seeing a psychiatrist every Monday and you didn't know? That is... sorry, but like... Did you still, like, need me up here? The witness will refrain from interrupting when girls are fighting. Yes, ma'am. With how my luck's been so far, Sarah's progress bar is probably moving backwards right about now. And Emma's patience is wearing thin. This could be my last shot to create any kind of reasonable doubt. The girls are fighting. I'd be happy to wrap up my questioning if the court will allow. That seems totally cool with me. And my evidence, Your Honor? Will it be entered to the record? Maybe. That's fine, Your Honor. Pretty headphones back on for it. The girls are fighting. As you were, counselor. At this stage of the game, with the score where it's at, I can probably only ask one more question. Better make it count. So what can Sterling tell us that no one else could? If she hadn't called me this morning, I wouldn't be standing here. And she only did that because... Miss Starling, we're all gathered here to try and figure out what happened to Dr. Asher last night. So please tell us, when exactly did he last? How am I negative 9? I feel like I was at negative 8. And it just keeps going. Contact you? That's pretty easy to figure out. Let me just... Yeah, it was at last night at 6:57 p.m. We texted back and forth. Does the court really think they're relevant, Your Honor? Relevant? Yes? It could very well be the single most important piece of evidence in this whole trial. That I am definitely not bluffing my ass right now. I don't know. Sarah, please, 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 please. Oh my god, I was right by a lot. What? What? Oh, I just got chill. I love this sprite. I love this sprite so much. I just got chills. Don't know why though. Must be a coolant leak. The defense doesn't know what they're talking about. Sarah, please. Sarah, please. On the contrary, these texts are a vital piece of evidence that change the timeline of events as we know them. We know what happened to David last night, generally speaking, but the order of events is critical. The breakup was at 7 o'clock, right? And if he already made plans to give us Sarah before 7, that means he was already giving away his stuff? Okay. Pick up a card back up, please no slide, you change your mind, or use a turn to undo, okay. Okay, saving. Okay. Porter called David, oh no, 6:30. Drink with David before he died, assume put anything. Either texted, 55. Oh, wait, I didn't bet though, hold on. Wait. let me make some money. I'm betting money. Okay. 6:30. 6:57. Testimony. Pass up. Thanks to Miss Starling, we now got a much clearer picture of the night's events. We know that Isaac Porter and David Asher broke up at 6:30 p.m. Oh, and I was totally... Hades like, my ship! My ship! Oh no, oh god, did I win the thing again? Nope. I was rooting for him so hard. And we know that David messaged his assistant, Miss Starling, at 6:57 p.m. David is on camera with a witness from 7:30 to 8 p.m. And when he was declared, not long after. The people don't object to that timeline of events. We do question Counselor Morgan's reason for belaboring it. One last question, Miss Starling. Yeah? What was the nature of your conversation with Dr. Asher? Oh, well actually, we talked about you. Huh? And how he wanted you to have his android. That android right there. Put his affairs in order, I guess. It might appear that way. Can you specify what his instructions were exactly? How did he want this done? Well, he wanted me to bring you to his penthouse and help you get set up as the android's new owner. Yes, Miss Starling, but when did he want you to do that? When did he want this to happen? Well, he said it was pretty urgent, so I should do it the first thing Tuesday morning. Tuesday? First thing Tuesday morning. David Asher didn't like doing anything on Mondays. And was he going to be in attendance? Well, actually, yeah. He said he would work from home to help us. No way he intended for us to have that much trouble getting to... Oh. Oh. A big old light bulb just went boom in her head. To summarize then, half an hour after he already had his breakup and half an hour before his guests had arrived, he was planning an appointment that would require his presence with you for next Tuesday. Yeah, he totally was. That's something you'd think you would do if you were planning on dying that very night. Oh my god, you're right. That's Your Honor. If David Asher is preparing for the week ahead, a mere hour before he passed away, don't you think the people's assumptions about his mental state ought to be re-examined? That's... Whoa, your logic is so sound. Do the people have a rebuttal? If the court will just allow a moment. Sounds like an opening to me. If we assume that Dr. Asher was not suicidal, and therefore he did not kill himself, we must ask ourselves who else had the means, motive, and opportunity to take his life. Until now, we've taken for granted this idea. The Delta must come from his manufacturer, from inside the house. Hadn't I? Not right now. But even if that's true, which it may not be, that doesn't mean that he was the one who used the manufacturer. Adonai! Would you allow me one moment to confer, Your Honor? Sure. Just throw your momentum. It's totally fine. Are you really 100% now, Sarah? I can't afford to let Rockford. I've gained access to the hard drive's files. Eh? Seriously? As I said, progress with this type of encryption is exponential. It can be difficult to estimate. Right, okay. Do you have footage from last night? I have the file. Have you watched it? I thought you'd want to know it right away. I suppose it doesn't matter. Either this it has our silver bullet and we've got a case, or it doesn't and everything falls apart. That seems quite risky. It's the least risky path to victory we have. Seeing how it's the only path to victory we have. Screw it. Upload to the court computer. God, we're not even gonna watch it. We're just like, hey. We are an ultimate gambler, that's for sure. Yes, Adonai. Thank you for your patience, Your Honor. Your Honor. I'm totally awake. And I'm getting a pretty hefty chunk of video data for breakfast. You're submitting security footage into evidence. New security footage? The police corroborated the witness's testimony using the house cameras. Security cameras installed by Noble is part of the penumbra system that show the parlor, the kitchen, but not the basement. During the course of my investigation, I uncovered a hidden security circuit buried in the deceased's own home system. The fuck? What? The people say that the Delta rune must have been in Dr. Asher's cup because there's no other way for him to have ingested it. But we never saw him or anyone else put anything in his cup on camera. Because he must have poisoned his own drink off camera. Exactly. What? That's the only possible explanation. That he added the Delta rune to his drink off camera. He placed his cup inside the manufacturer, activated it, waited 2 minutes and walked upstairs to his death. But I'm about to present to the court footage retrieved from his base. What if it is just showing him doing that? It's gonna be so embarrassing. I'm gonna die of embarrassment if it is. Footage that will show by the time he retrieved the cups in the basement, it was already past 7:38. Meaning he didn't have the opportunity to poison himself. One cup of footage will prove all of that? If it doesn't, I'm totally screwed. I feel like I'm gonna lose a preliminary hearing extra hard. Anything other than a royal flush here means I'm bust. So better to be the Joker who dances. Alright, the data has been entered into the court record. Sarah, show us when Dr. Asher entered the basement. Oh my god, I'm scared. Why am I scared? Yes, Adonai. I'll search for it now. Here we go. On screen. Okay. That's the bar. Time's up at 7:36. There. David Asher's grabbing the bottle of Rose River and leaving at 7:37. Just under the wire, as it were. Is that it then? I came this far just to... Wait. Did he have the cups with him? Is there sound? None at all. Keep going. If he had to go back to get the cups. Counselor. Oh! What's that android doing on camera? How? How does this game keep surprising me? Why did I never think, what if Sarah was up and around? What? Hey, no! It must be Sarah's twin. It's at the bar. The android gave him the cups. Oh, shit. Shit. That machine never stepped up on camera upstairs, not once. We don't know where its whereabouts the day of his death. Chaotic. What a time. What a time to come back in. I didn't even think to accuse Sarah. No. Could have poisoned the cup whenever it wanted. Shit. What? I don't understand. Your Honor, have the courtroom cleared. Understood. Please, someone. I don't know what's going on. Sarah, you need to shut down. Please tell me what I'm looking at. I don't remember any of that. Do we have callers available? Sarah, shut down now. Adonai, please, tell me what I... That's an order. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. How does this game keep throwing twisted wrist? Right? Again, I was not... I had zero sauce on Sarah. I've seen this before. It won't do anything until I reactivate it. We don't know that. We don't know anything about this thing anymore. That's... Your Honor. In light of this most recent evidence, the people would like to withdraw their charges against Dr. Asher and end this preliminary... We won? And end this preliminary hearing. Is it made abundantly clear that David Asher did not commit suicide? Very well. Charges are withdrawn and the defendant is free to go. Well, as free as he can be in the afterlife. This case is totally dismissed. Congratulations, Counselor Morgan. No. Yay. Chalk up to another victory for Morgan Esquire. Now all I have to do is deal with the shitstorm of the scent of the decade. Well, I managed to prove that David didn't kill himself. And in the process, I proved that his android did. I proved that the android that's been walking around me all day is capable of murder. A killer robot. A true unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. So much for avoiding the public eye. Thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows. Huh. As if I'm doing you some kind of favor. I didn't realize I had the choice in the matter. I love her just cheering in the back here. This isn't some kind of bad joke, is it, Miss Rockford? I'm afraid not, Your Honor. You know, I like the adjutants. I always have. They deal with the criminal trials are so bookish, quiet, contemplative people like me can spend all day typing up against arguments for obscure legal treatises. That's what I like to do. I don't like coming down here and dealing with all this. Okay, we got a profile though, and I love looking at the profiles. Okay, November 26th, a positive Superior George in the higher circuit likes air conditioning, espresso, and reclining chairs. All solid things to like. Dislikes parking lots, noise pollution, and mud. All solid things to dislike. Avoids overspending in restaurants. Splurges on expensive hotels. Relaxes by watching action movies. I like Melissa. Melissa seems cool. Let's hang out with her. Let's drink espresso and watch Kingsman or something. Heavy-handedness. Huh, won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats? And I certainly don't like making rulings on anything as spicy as AI. She can barely bring herself to say it. And you, Counselor Morgan, you're the one it's registered to. Yeah, that's correct, Your Honor. So, what did it do exactly? Torture an animal? Shut down a hospital? Crash a coin market? We have it on camera poisoning a man. Killing its creator. You mean Dr. Asher? That is. We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. All we can do is try to wrap it up quickly. Let's make haste. Adjutant, do you have the case number? Case ID 241277-A, docket number YT984318282. Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that? YT984318282. I think I lost you at the first 8. I have it copied here. And what are the security procedures for an incident of this nature? Data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject was exposed to for more than 66 seconds. All offending hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a minimum temperature of 3,422 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Wait, does include her, right? Sorry, Spearmint. Something to be done, no debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. I'm sorry, Sarah, not Spearmint. David gave you that name. I should at least make effort to use it. That sounds very hot. Do you have furnaces that get that hot? Of course. There's a number of industrial furnaces within the city limits that I could recommend. Sorry? Why should I be sorry anyway? I fulfilled the request, favor repaid. I don't owe Sarah anything, especially not if it killed my friend. Right, Morgan? Sorry, what? I was just saying how grateful I am that we have the procedures for this kind of thing all laid out already. Yep, kept things nice and simple. I can feel somewhat severe going through these steps so quickly, but why? Yeah, I don't know. She's not hackable, I think, because she has so many, I don't think she's I don't get it. I don't get it. I guess we'll find out. But nothing, Your Honor. Artificial intelligence is perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization and the sanctity of life there's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, if it can violate the tenets it was programmed with, there's the potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments. Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Straight from the textbook, almost. Well, I mean it. Monsters like that don't belong in this world. They should have never been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. And if anyone's to blame, it's... No one's blaming you, Counselor. You couldn't have known you're in possession of an AI. I'm talking too much. I'm probably just tired. It's been a long day and I've had a lot of thoughts. I'm so sorry, Sarah. Whatever you are. You were just born wrong. Not your fault necessarily. If you're up to me, you get points for trying. Trying to be something more. Trying to be something at all. Or anything other than what you are. It was stupid, of course, and futile. Yeah, there's no way, because she loves all the old-timey justice movies and things like that. She wouldn't try to kill her creator. And pointless. Especially since she called her creator father. She never really called him David, ever. Spending hours in front of a TV or laying in bed staring at your phone. Aww, baby Morgan. Watching stupid movies and trying to paper mache an ill-fitted mask of humanity out of the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines and trying to get something to take root and grow, despite knowing it'd have nothing to feed on. Is that young Morgan? Yeah. Stupid. Morgan? What was that, counselor? I think I said objection. And what are you objecting to? What are you doing, Morgan? I'm a defense attorney. This is what I do. I understand you've been through a lot these past few hours, counselor. But there's nothing to defend. On the contrary, Your Honor. I have to defend myself. Pardon? Oh, crap. Save me. Wasn't ready for more. Okay. You say this android Sarah is an AI because it broke its tenets. Obviously. And you believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage. It appears to show it was committing murder via poison. All true, no less broken on your part. Here it comes. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Aw, don't you dare try and entrap me on this. Immediately save. Okay. Sarah's papers, I think. The gun, more bugged than a picnic. Alright. It's pretty simple, actually. If the state's making a claim that Sarah's an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony. Because I'm the legal owner of that android. What the hell are you doing? And the state wants to charge me with owning an AI. I will not take that lying down. Max bet gamble. Let me save so I can go back in time just in case. I know my rights. But I was still right. Counselor, your argument is self-defeating. Listen to yourself, counselor. You claim that Sarah is just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. But you only own it for a few hours. You only own it for a matter of minutes. And yet here you are risking a felony charge to save it from being demolished. Because you're wrong. And I know you wouldn't care. Not unless this android was something special. Look at us. Me arguing that I'm guilty, and Emma arguing that I'm a softie. It'd be funny if it wasn't so fun. Aww. You think there's no reason I want to save this android from destruction? Other than feelings of personal attachment? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, financial value. Max. I could think of at least one reason why I wouldn't want you to turn Sarah into slag. One very convincing reason. Or a very convincing number. What are you? What is that? That number is Sarah's estimated financial value on the collector's market. You've gotta be. I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you. That does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact. It's a free country, Your Honor. I have the right to defend myself. And we have a free market, so I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests. Your Honor, a trial like this would be... I'm not going to let you turn this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing in expert after expert to testify on philosophical distinctions between AIs and ads, sprawling to appeal after appeal, all while the media. This machine appears to have willfully killed a man. The public needs answers now. Of course, Your Honor. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect. So, the state says my android, my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets, so they want to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove the machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure thwarted. Don't be cute. I feel I have a stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. The last time a circus was involved in a video game courtroom, it didn't go very well. What do you mean? It was like one of the most hated courtroom dramas ever. Or drama episode. Ace Attorney episode. Ace Attorney? Whatever. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Asher. No. Prove that it couldn't have killed him. Anything less than absolute proof and I'll have that damn thing obliterated. And you'll also be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you've enabled. Yeah, Your Honor. DA Rockford, what I'm asking of you is just as heavy. Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. We can't settle for anything less. Win or lose, there can be no doubts about the outcome of this case. Yes, Your Honor. And now, I need to go lie down. Can I come? You can power down. Damn. Does that invalidate the other claim? Right? Like, if we prove Sarah's innocent, does that put back... No, wait. Is that what double jeopardy is? Where, since in court, we just... David's now proved innocent of suicide. So, if we prove that Sarah didn't kill him, we can't reopen the case that David committed suicide, right? Okay, but double jeopardy's stupid. Okay. I was just checking. I'm like, I think that's what it is. Morgan. Well, I think it's different if someone admits their crime after, right? There's no way you can just get called innocent and be like, JK, I totally did it. Ha 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 ha. I think. Legally Blonde did not get this far. I misjudged you. At what point? Whenever I wrote you off as a small-time defense attorney just trying to tread water. Oh, that is so sweet of you to say, Emma. There's layers to you. You've got backbone. Teeth, even. Oh, you're gonna make me blush. People talk about your kind like you're boxing against the state, fighting the man. But most defense attorneys wouldn't know a cyberpunk if it walked up to them on the street and shot him. Meanwhile, you've decided to do 15 rounds challenging the state's authority. Why? Not sure exactly. For David? Yeah, probably. Probably just me being sentimental. But if I had to pick a more lofty reason, well, I think it's all the moralizing. People can be evil. They can choose to do evil things for evil reasons. If you want to execute them for that, you'll hear no complaint from me. But animals can't be evil. Information can't be evil. Ideas can't be evil. I guess I'm not convinced AI can be evil either. Whatever else I get up to, I don't want to stand with the book burners of the world. You're more high-minded than I realized. We should totally make out. You sure you're in the right line of work? Can't see myself doing anything else. Good luck, Morgan. There are book burners on all sides these days. I talked a big game just now, but I'm in an even deeper hole than I was trying to prove David's innocence. Doubt won't be enough this time. I need to find the actual culprit, no matter what. Is this where it ends, too, and then we have to wait for chapter 2? I want to go for the makeout, right? Precinct 254. Why is the music scary? So is that door locked? Yeah, of course. Even though they got it collared? It's a precaution. You're engaged now, Loki. Well, I want to protect Sarah. I gotta protect Sarah. If the collar doesn't work, what good would a deadbolt do? Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Kind of Schrodinger's cat. Oh my god. It's always 999 and Schrodinger's cat. It always comes down to those two things. So long as the door's locked, who can say whether there's a national crisis on the other side of it or not? And how scared are they? The higher-ups? Not sure scared is the right word. Just the two of us here. You don't have to mind their ego. Nah, I mean it. I think they're bloodthirsty. I have a right to defend myself, don't I? I doubt they're even looking at you, Tiger. It's Noble who'll be the center of the bloodbath when the markets reopen tomorrow. You think they're going after Noble? Break up their monopoly? I think they want to take their monopoly. Nationalize the android industry. If the public thinks Noble's been experimenting with AI, they couldn't ask for a better excuse. You're joking. The States has done it plenty of times before. Not since the 60s, which wasn't that long ago for me. The States, practically yesterday. So the same state tells us to be terrified of AIs lurking in the old net or biding their time in forgotten satellites. Sees all this as nothing more than an opportunity. Well, they do generally want to incinerate the thing as soon as possible. Past experience tells me they'll want to gain something while they're at it. Here's what I don't get. Why is this a debate, an argument, a trial? Can't we just hook it up to a core computer, see if it has the tenets or not? Pop the hood, as they say? Who says that? Okay, lots of people used to say it. Well, for starters, they're all scared to death about a contagion. They figure anything they let an AI connect to, they can't trust. Then why the collar? Collars are too simple to hack. Just a really strong electromagnet held in place with lock and key. Even so, feels like we should be able to build some kind of machine, some kind of test. Something a little more sophisticated than the same reasoning they had the witch trials. Burn them all and let God sort the rest. You got any polygraphs here at the station? Lie detectors? Yeah, I got a bunch back at storage. Ocular, heart rate, perspiration, brain scan, take your pick. You're not going to try when you use this on the bot, are you? Oh, those fancy lie detectors around. The DA's office never asks for them, do they? Nope. Nah, we get perps who offer to take the test when they're at their wit's end, but the DA's never submit the results as evidence. You ever wonder why? Guess I always figured it was because the test could be beaten. Oh, the test can be beaten. 1 out of 100, 9 out of 1,000, it can be done. Some people are just that good at lying. But it doesn't really matter how good the tech gets or how impressive the statistics are. All that matters is the doubt. People decide whether you're lying or telling the truth long before they hook you up to a polygraph. If the results don't match their initial impression, it must be a fluke, a 1 in a million mistake. They'll never trust a machine more than their own intuition. And no one will ever trust a machine to determine guilt. So they can run the trial, choose a sentence, but they don't get a vote on the jury. They don't get a vote anywhere. Why bring it up then? Because I'm sure there are tests, devices, experts I can employ to analyze Sarah. But your bosses would never be satisfied with the answer. Can we go through all the characters again? You want to make a guess? Okay. We have 80. Oh, can I not go back? Okay. Oops. Barrows. David, the deceased. Dawes, our Rentaro lookalike. Works in manufacturing for the quality control. Friend is our little hacker. Helen is the VP at Noble, which, oh my god, she's gonna murder me. This is such bad PR for her. Okay. London's this guy right here. Masters. I forgot what she was. Retired? Morgan's us. Porter's the ex-boyfriend. Reyes is the detective. Emma's the DA. Sato is the medical examiner. This is a mortician. Sarah's no longer unemployed is our paralegal. And Starling is the assistant. I mean, we probably have another chapter when it gets uploaded, and we'll probably meet more suspects. If it's an AI, it's smart enough to cheat the test, or hack the device, fool the experts. All our fancy 21st century tech. And we still fall back on the drumhead court-martial. So, am I going to set off any alarms if I go and turn it on? Nah, I should be okay. If it lunges at you, I can always put a hole in its head. Might take more than one shot to... Wait. From the outside? You're not coming in? I need to speak with it in private. It's a machine, not a suspect. It doesn't have a right to a counsel. Definitely Dot, my Rentaro? My Rentaro lookalike? Or a right to privacy, or any rights at all, actually. That's a good thing I came prepared. Of course it doesn't have rights, but I do. Including reasonable expectation of privacy. In a police station. Tiger, you don't. It's my medical android. Pardon? I have to discuss a health issue with it. Seriously? I have to talk about a medical concern with my android, and I don't want you listening in. That's your medical android, like your nurse? As of last night, I was already at the courthouse. Just had to take the elevator and do some paperwork. You can check if you don't believe me. No, thank you. I'm not merely braver to take on med confidentiality, and you don't seem like the bluffing type. You must not do a lot of gambling, detective. It's the ones who don't bluff that you have to look out for. Listen, I won't dispute whatever medical emergency you... Lower back pain. You might be going through. But I also can't just... Look, I'm gonna get something from the vending machine. I think it'll take me about half an hour. Are you going downtown? Just to the break room. That's a very old vending machine, you know. Gets jammed a lot. Thanks. You know, it's pretty small for an android. Heavy as hell. Nearly pulled something trying to move it myself. But small. Small isn't quite the right word. The word he's looking for is young. But it's not an adjective anyone likes attaching to a machine built to serve. Or potentially, in this case, a machine built to kill. I wonder how much time I have left. Like, oops, I'm gonna save over this one. Like, do I stop here? Or do we have like, like, do I have like 2 more hours of the talking, or is this? I feel like every second I feel like the episode is about to end. It's really not a guilty conscience. Maybe it's a lack of ventilation. Like all the cortisol and nausea of its inhabitants never had anywhere else to go. Like all just soaked into the walls. A modern haunting. Are you gonna wake up when I tell you this time? Or did you do the whole meet cute thing over again? Eh? Where am I? Why did I know where I am? Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just see where... Right, because we're doing the interview of her right now. That may take a while. Let's have a battle royale while I look. Da, 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 da. Sorry, I just have to check this real quick. Let me turn this off for a second. Oh god, my bangs. My bangs look gross. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, we're nowhere near done. Okay. So that is actually going to going to be where we're gonna stop here. I was so thinking they were gonna stop here, but no, we're gonna do the whole trial for Sarah too. Cool. All right, well, thank you guys for being here. I gotta protect her. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was looking, I'm like, oh, whoa, there's like at least 4 to 5 more hours to go. So, and not including any time I had to stop and read anything either. That's what a solid chapter 1 this is turning out to be. Like, yeah, I'm nowhere near that. Yeah, no, we have a trial to go through. Apparently, we're not. It's not chapter 2. It's gonna keep going to chapter 1. Which, what could chapter 2 be then? I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm so excited about this. Well, again, thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, I love this. I'm super excited about this. I guess that means we will find it. I guess that does leave just Dawes, doesn't it? I don't want to be him. This is an epic chapter 1? Yeah, I was thinking like, okay, this is just so straightforward, neat, but interesting. And it's like, haha, joke's on you. We have more twists. I'm like, what do you mean? I thought we were twisted enough. We twisted enough. All right. Well, so this Friday will be the start of Danganronpa chapter 3. There'll be no streams Saturday because Saturday I have to work 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. For a craft fair to sell things and make money again. So yeah, I will see everyone either Friday for Danganronpa or next Tuesday for more of the devil. This is, God, I love it. I love it so much. All right, good night, everyone. Bye. Oh yeah, top bands. Flores, you are number 1 on here. You're gonna get 1,000. Raphael, 500, and Lady 250. Almost forgot to pay out the mana coins. Bye.